Alright. So, just getting set up here, guys. Fixing my lights. Hey, guys. So, it's my first time I'm doing this through StreamYard. So, I gotta go to my channel and see if it's coming through. Oh, here we go. Okay. Alright, so I got my computer going. Alright, so, hello. See, there's like a delay, so I'm trying to figure out how much of a delay there is. A couple of you in here. Wait for a couple of you guys to get in here. So the studio. Yeah, you can tell I've been really working hard on it. I'm slowly getting there. I just got so much darn stuff going on. So let me just. Come on in. The water's warm. We got cookies. Just getting home from work. 10-hour day. Always makes it interesting. Let me see. Let me try to take that. See what that does. Shift this a little better. It's on. Okay, so I guess it's got to be like that. Got it on a little easel here. Let's try that. We got that light again. Sorry, guys. It's the first time I've done this on here. So, I don't even have the right to go live through YouTube because I don't have 1,000 subscribers yet. So I'm trying to get there. It's slow. A lot of my problem is that I don't promote a lot. You know, I will, when I make a video, my videos come out on Saturday mornings, as you guys know, or some of you, or if you know or don't know. And then I'll share them out to all the groups on Facebook and the Halloween forum, and then that's it. I don't usually share too much beyond that because it's I don't know. I feel like I'm spamming and stuff, you know. Like it gets annoying after a while for people. But I'm at 845 subscribers right now. You guys, I don't know. Some of you, if you're not subscribed, I don't know. Have my 1,000. Once I get my 1,000 subscriber, I'm giving away that Winter Warlock mask. Or you could call it a Krampus if you want. You go down in my videos there, and you can see that there. I might even be able to put a link to the description how to get you guys there. Oh, so I'm waiting on Keith and Vic. These guys said they were going to pop in. Keith might still be driving home. This was just a win. This wasn't something that was like really planned. I do got something to talk about here, but I was hoping to get a few more of you guys in here. You can see I got all this cotton in front of me. Well, I had a big project that I did yesterday, and I was really looking forward to it. Now, last week, if you saw, I did the unboxing. Uh, Vic sent me a package there, and it had Rob Kabowski's one of his Frankenstein masks in it. Absolutely amazing work that guy does. Absolutely amazing, and that thing's like going to be a grail in my collection. You'll find with me, I think I've expressed this before, especially in some of our live streams on Monday nights in the Trio of Terror. Uh, hey, hello, Christopher. Nice to see somebody come in and talk to me. How are you this evening? Like I expressed in our live streams on our Monday night Trio of Terror, I have a thing with props, man. I am really finicky, really finicky, and I think it's because when I was doing the haunting stuff in the early days, like I found some photos, by the way, and I put them on the Trio of Terror page when I was just starting out, and that was pre 9/11. And back then, there was no Spirit Halloween. You used to have to go to Spencer's. You guys remember that? You go to Spencer's, and around Halloween time, that's where they had all the Halloween stuff, and a lot of the exclusive stuff too, like the Crypt Keeper. That was an awesome prop. I had two of those in my collection at some point in time. I actually did repairs on them, and like a dummy, I got rid of. I sold one, and then I ended up selling the other one. I wish I didn't, because that was a really cool prop. Do any of you guys remember that prop at Spencer's Gifts back in the day? It was they usually only issued one per store, and it was a Crypt Keeper, and he was 1/1 scale to what he was supposed to be, and his head turned back and forth. That's all he did for that, was his head turned back and forth, and then he had a cassette player. You put the cassette in, and it was his voice. Yes, they used to have awesome stuff, didn't they, Christopher? And the quality was by far more superior than, I'm sorry, the junk they got now. There is rarely any Halloween props I see now that come out of Spirits that really impresses me, because I see that they're all made in China, which that doesn't necessarily equate bad quality, but it's pretty much bad quality. A lot of the stuff that they're making now for Spirit Halloween, and what they're charging for it, they should, But I remember back in the day, in the Spencer's days, the first animatronic I got was also a Spencer's exclusive. Hey, Freddy Zone. Hey, how are you? It's nice to see you. The first animatronic I bought from Spencer's Gifts was a zombie, and it was a Spencer's Gifts exclusive. And I'm not sure, but I think maybe even Distortions Unlimited had something to do with that prop. And basically, when you plugged him in and stepped on the button, he swayed back and forth, and he said brains, and stuff like that, and he moaned and stuff. I loved that damn thing. I loved it. In fact, this used to be my den where I am now. Some point in time, I used to have wall-to-wall shelves in here, and I had DVDs and films and rare copies of VHS. I had literally over 3,000 films in my collection, primarily horror, sci-fi horror, stuff like that. But I had some gems, some really rare stuff that was really valuable because you just couldn't get it. I had a gigantic Fangoria magazine collections, Famous Monsters of Filmland, Rue Morgue. I used to have all kinds of horror books and on film and stuff like that, but then a lot of props and stuff like that, but higher end props, stuff that I kept displayed in here. It wasn't the Halloween stuff that I would put in the yard. Now, don't get me wrong, when it came Halloween, some of the stuff that wasn't here was dragged out there and put in the yard. But the props back then were are so superior to what they are now. They really made some really nice props, and there was just the quality was there, and they seem to last longer too. Another one I had, I don't think you saw it in the pictures that I shared. There was one character called Doctor Shivers. Does anyone remember that? Doctor Shivers. He was a mad scientist. He was really cool. He had crazy white hair and the goggles, and his eyes were like he looked absolutely insane. And he had on a shin length mad scientist lab coat. Like Frady, you made one. You made one in one of your videos there, and that came out awesome. By the way, that was a great. Um, for anyone that tunes in after or watches this, Frady, go check out. If you haven't seen Frady Zone's videos, you need to go check them out because they're just brilliant. They're very classy. Um, really good production value put in. It's obvious that she put in the time with the lighting and stuff like that. I'm lazy. I know how to light a set, and my battery's supposed to die. Hold on, guys. My plug here is not. Okay. Let's see. All right, that's plugged in. That's sucking down the battery. No, you stay plugged in. Sorry about that, guys. All right, it's plugged in. I go through, man. Yes, I got an iPhone, and those darn plugs are expensive. And this one here, I don't know what number one this is, but now I can't even plug earbuds into it like you used to. Now you have to plug the earbuds into where you plug in the power. So it's either you have your phone plugged in, powering up, or you put your earbuds in. It's oh no, don't be embarrassed. I really enjoy your videos a lot. Me and the guys do. We really do, and it's awesome having you. Your warmth in the community. It's. I always look forward to your posts and your videos and stuff like that, and the interaction that goes on. We really do got a nice community of people that are genuinely passionate about this stuff, and just love the holidays, love the art, the creepy stuff, and to me it goes beyond just Halloween. I'm just a monster kid at heart. I love this stuff all around. When I was a kid, my room used to just be absolutely plastered with horror movie stuff, magazines, famous monsters of filmland, the model kits, posters, you name it. And I think I concerned my parents a little bit, because one film that I absolutely love, and if you watch one of my first videos, I see Who the Weird Kid Is, which I gotta redo that, by the way. It's dated now. But in one of my earliest videos, I talked about the fact that I really liked that movie, the made-for-TV movie Salem's Lot, which was, as you know, based on the Stephen King book. And I remember watching that on TV as a kid as it aired. And I can't remember the air dates on it, but I think they showed it. They broke it up. I know that it went over a period of actual weeks rather than an episode a night. I think they only showed like one episode, maybe it went on for a month. I can't remember. I remember watching that though, and it scaring the hell out of me and loving it. But what stands out to me is the lead, the kid in it. His father comes into his room and he's looking at all his monster stuff, and he's like, "When are you gonna outgrow this stuff?" And it's like, "I don't know, And I the same exact thing happened to me with my father. My father came in and he was looking around and he was like, "Son, I used to like to watch scary movies when I was a kid too, but I didn't feel the need to, and because of course you look around, I guess back then it could have looked like the making of a serial killer. I don't know, but I just absolutely loved it, and but it reminded me of that. Oh, Trans World. You know what? Me and Keith from Cobwebs and Candlesticks, we both had the same issue. We were sitting on our computers every given moment that we could, and all we were doing is like living vicariously through everyone else with all the videos and photos and stuff. And I still, damn, the name, I can't remember the name of the damn shop again because I've heard it 100 times. I should by now, but there's a video, and it was the first video I saw. And somebody here is probably going to be able to tell me. If Keith comes in, he's going to be able to tell me that the first video I saw of Transworld was of that company that had all these 1/1 scale figures all in a big row, tons of them. And there was like an amazing werewolf and this like giant ogre. And it looked like he had a cigar in his mouth. He's hunched over. And there was a Nosferatu bust that had a red velvet looking hood on that kind of looked like a Nosferatu style. And just in the back there was a Frankenstein. There was a Bride of Frankenstein, but it was their version, their reimagined version. And let's see. And absolutely fell in love. I was like, oh my God, I want all of it. If I was there, I would definitely be coming home broke. I wanted everything, and the thing that gets me too is everyone played it safe this year. Obviously, it shows there because here it was canceled last year, and now here's the first year that. So they didn't have it last year. We know why, and then they had it this year. But I think that they were leery and they wanted to play it safe. So a lot of the vendors didn't come with their normal larger than life builds or facades and stuff, because I've seen videos of shows past, and I'll tell you what, there was some impressive sets, facades. I remember clearly there was one, like it was a mental institution, and it was huge. It was like, looked like it was a couple of stories high, and out front was this hulking looking, deranged, mental patient, brutish looking guy, and he's like swinging his arms and he's got it looks like a nurse by the leg, and he's like throwing her around and everything. And if I remember, I feel like he broke out of his restraints and whatnot. But it wasn't just that too. The facade itself was very, very, very well done. And then if you looked in the windows, they had that 3D the imagery to where you saw a deranged nurse and a doctor doing something shady, and then you had like mental patients in the window and stuff like that. It was amazing, but I could imagine probably 15 to 20 grand easy. And that's the thing. The cost of the sky is the limits. I know back then before 9/11, when I was doing haunts here at the house, I used to go on Distortions Unlimited, their website there, and I would just drool over their over the top props, and then the prices on some of them were like upwards of 10 grand. Now that's commitment right there for sure. But yeah. Anyway, so I wanted everything. I don't know. You guys been before? I've never been to Transworld. In fact, I've never been to a Halloween trade show ever in my life. Here in Florida, in Orlando, they have Spooky Empire. They might have another one, maybe further north. I've never heard of one that would be in Miami. Miami, I am an hour south of Tampa and 3.5 hours north of Miami, 2.5 hours south of Orlando. And Orlando that's where they have Spooky Empire. And I think they just had that too recently, and I've never been to that. I think I'm going to shoot for October this year to go to Spooky Empire. I might be able to get a press pass so I can go in there and do some interviews and stuff like that. Because you guys know I like to do my interviews too and stuff like that. Talk to other talented people and yeah, I hear you, Christopher. It's like, um, yeah, it's funny because if I won the lottery, um, my first go to thought wouldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna buy a mansion and a sports car. Now it would be, man, I'm gonna buy some of these cool props and stuff like that. Uh, I could very well end up being like a my bedroom already. I like someday I'll probably give you guys little glimpses of what the weird lair looks like inside my house because um, I could very well end up looking being like a Forrest Ackerman type of character with where his house is basically a museum because uh, the way I've got the bedroom decorated and all the stuff that I've got in there, like I've got a whole cabinet of curiosities that's got like real skulls and I've got fossils and just all kinds of weird odds and ends and stuff like that in there. I like that. I've always loved like the sideshows. I think me and you talked about that briefly one time, Frady. Um, the Carnival Museum. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's in Sarasota. That's a stone's throw for me. I'm two towns over from. You're talking about the Ringling Museum, Frady. Yeah, that's two towns over from me. I've never been to that, believe it or not. I'll get there one day. Then Tampa's got some pretty cool museums too. They have a Dolly museum there. I'd really like to go to one day. They actually sell. One of my coworkers has it. It's like he's got a clock. It's the melted clock that Dolly drew or painted rather, and he's got a clock that's melted like that. And I thought, yeah, that's some weird kid stuff right there. I'm all over that. But yeah, I would be definitely buying some high end props and stuff. I like good quality stuff, and that's why I'm really finicky. That there was stuff that impressed me in the videos I saw from Transworld, but I'll tell you what, when I go to Spencer's Gifts and walk around, um, I don't know. There's nothing there that ever really gets me really over the top excited. You know, I did like the Sam, although I didn't get it. I liked Sam from Trick or Treat. I like that character. That's a cool little character. Um, but I didn't get that one. But I like that one. The Pennywise, you know, I'm not into clowns, but I do like Pennywise because that's another one, the original one with Tim Curry. I watched that when it aired on TV back in the day and enjoyed that as well. I never read the book. I've read a lot of Stephen King. In fact, I have a tremendous amount of Stephen King books, some actual valuable first editions too. But I never read it. It's a long one. I'll have to get around to it someday. But anyways, the TV made for TV movie was good. I have that on DVD. Um, so, anyways, but I guess one of the other reasons why I came on tonight was because yesterday I had a big project and I shot the whole video and come to find out my SD card, I guess, was corrupt. So I lost all of yesterday's footage. So I shot the whole thing for nothing. But uh, it happens sometimes, Unfortunately, SD cards do go bad, and when they do go bad, they don't really give you any kind of warning as to when they do. They're not made to last forever. I think it happened to me once early on when I was doing a monster doll, like a demon doll tutorial where I was corpsing the baby doll, and I lost a lot of footage with that from a corrupt SD card, but it happens. But what I did yesterday was it's okay because I'm going to be able to recover from this. I'm going to I'm going to do another video on it. This is, I guess, what I'm calling a taxidermy teddy bear. So people make, they make scary teddy bears and stuff, and I made this guy right here. You can see that. And basically all I did was I went to, I went to Goodwill, bought a teddy bear for a couple bucks, and turned him into a scary bear. Really, it's relatively easy to do. I was going to make a 2-in-1 video where I wanted to show you how to do this, which he's got a 3/4 inch PVC skeleton inside of him, and he actually has hips because you're going to be careful, but you can turn him if you want. You can move his arms and position his arms if you want to. All right, you got some free range of motion. All right, so you could have him holding, like you can have one arm up, you can have him holding a butcher knife or something like that, or whatever. But this was yesterday's tutorial, and it was going to be in 2 parts because with what I was going to do was I was going to show you how to make a Halloween carnival game that kids and both adults can play. Something that you can use at your Halloween party. And Frady, you could do an alien one and do this. But it was going to serve as I was going to be doing it in a couple of parts because just as he stands now, yeah, he's cool. He's in position, and I can move him around and everything. But he's still too cute, I did spray a little bit of spray paint and did some highlights and stuff like that. But I needed to do his mouth with some sharp teeth and just turn him into a character, a scary character. And so this was part 1. I showed you how I made this, okay? I showed you how I made this. And the base and everything else. So next week was going to be part 2, which was me doing the mouth and then making the game, which I will tell you this, it's going to be holding a tray like this. All right, I can't really see, but he's got a tray he's going to be holding. You can do larger or smaller versions of what I'm going to show you, and it's actually a game that I came up with and actually did a test run with the kids this past Halloween, and they absolutely loved it, and it was cool because they got some cool prizes and stuff like that. But I'll show you how to do that because, like I said, it's fun to, the kids will love it, but you can do it with adults too. If you have an adult Halloween party, you can have adult-oriented prizes. We can get into all that. We're going to get into all that. Anyways, I took all the footage and I went, because I usually edit. Once I get done shooting, I try to edit as much as I possibly can that night. And then I'll usually finish it the next night. And I only have a few days, believe it or not, a week where I can work on this YouTube channel. And it's usually Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, pushing it because I'm unaccounted for Friday to late Monday. All right, so it leaves me a small window to get YouTube videos done. Anyways, enough of excuses. I put the SD card in, and then that's when I discovered that my files were corrupt. So I'm like, okay, great, the files are corrupt, and I lost everything. So, but it's okay because I got to thinking about it. There's still going to be a video Saturday, but it's not what I said it was going to be in last week's video. We got another toy review with my daughter Haley. That's going to air this Saturday, and that's a fun one. So that's cool. But the following week, next week, I am going to redo this. But I'm going to go ahead and use this one. Because I got to thinking, part of this build was going to be showing you how I do like the monster teeth and everything. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, Alan had already done that. So if he had already done that, then there's no need for me to go through those steps with you. Although I can if you want. You know, if you guys find that you want me to do that, there's enough teddy bears to go around, you know, and you could do this and come up with any number of combinations. And it doesn't even have to be a teddy bear. It could be a bunny rabbit, an alien that's going in Frady's hunt this coming season. Aliens. You could say you can't do more than one. Or if you even take a teddy bear, all you need is this form. You can transform this whole thing into an alien. You know, there's all kinds of things you can do. But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to show you how I'm going to make the base, and I'm going to show you step by step how I made the skeleton, so that you can have your teddy bear or stuffed animal or whatever it is in the taxidermied position, like this. All right, and then I'm going to show you how to make that game. All right, and with that game, you can, it's a supplement. It's something that I think you'll like. I think you'll like it. I think if you play with your kids, they'll enjoy it. They'll get a kick out of it, and like I said, it could kick up your Halloween, adult Halloween party too. Just something fun, So that's coming next week. Uh, in the meantime, when I'm not working on a show and I have a moment, I've been like continuing on when I can with the monster bottles, and here's one I just come up with here. This is like a little alien looking dude, but with this one here, uh, it's actually two bottles. The eyes are the caps for each bottle. There's two bottles in here. All right, so that's a double whammy, and that was a fun one I did. This one here I worked on with my daughter was sitting there with me, and then I came up with this one. I think you guys have seen these. This one here I chose to paint the eye on, just to. But my favorite ones. These are my favorite monster bottles, and that's these right here. This one here, and this one here. And they are my favorite because these were done by my daughter Haley, my 3-year-old. My 3-year-old actually did all this. She put all the clay on this one and stuffed the teeth. She knew, she put the eyes on there. The only thing I had to do, and she painted it. The only thing I had to do was to scrape the paint away from the eyes and off the teeth. And this one here. So these here are precious. I do have one. Another one that it was the first one she made, and I kept that, and then I put the date on it, and I'll keep that forever. But I almost thought maybe I could do something where I could offer these for sale for like $20 shipped or something like that, and then take her to Walmart, and with that money, it's her money. It's her money. Let her, I think, a video or something of her picking out, and I'll explain it to her. I mean, she's 3 years old, but I'd still explain to her that people like your bottles and they bought them, and now we can go. You can buy something for yourself, a barge like Barbie, and the typical stuff like that, and then just video it and share that with you, because I love doing stuff with my daughter. I mean, not everybody, the toy reviews that I do is everyone's cup of tea, but it's a personal thing for me, because I'm doing something with my daughter who means the absolute world to me. But I'm also I'm not going to be here forever. I'm not going to be here someday, and I want her to be able to watch something where her and Daddy interacted together. So I think that's the main reason why I do the videos with Haley. And she's my buddy, man. That's my right hand man there. Well, thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Freddie. Yeah, that's my little buddy there. She amazes me. So I got some other designs here. I got like another mushroom looking guy that I got. There's a bunch here that I'm painting. It takes a while, I'll tell you, because I have to go through a whole process with these things. Another one here. Here's like a weird looking one. I just started putting on the base coat. He's got like, I don't know if you can see that, but he's got like two little tusks coming out of this like looking weird looking mouth. I tried something, and that's another one that I'm gonna paint the eyeball. I'm trying to get diverse. I've got a ton of bottles up there. I want to do, as you guys, I don't know if you've seen the videos, I'm sure you know, I had built a 1/1 scale plague doctor, and he's called Dr. Morbius, and actually he lives inside with me. He's in my bedroom. And Haley, actually, when she's here, she comes and goes and talks to him and says hi, and and she knows he's friendly and he's Daddy's friend and he's her friend and everything. But yeah, he stands in the corner in my bedroom near my cabinet of curiosities, and so Dr. Morbius, I think that it's him that has this cabinet of potions and alchemy and primitive science and stuff like that with all these monster bottles. And I've got a laboratory kit that I bought. I'm going to show that. And so I want to build a cabinet that just has all the monster bottles in it. There's some other things in there like the chemistry set, and I'm thinking about ordering. I found some antique uh, glass syringes, needles from like the Ukraine. Better act fast. Hopefully, it's pretty scary over there right now. But just in a mortar and pestle, is that what you call it? And just dress it up. Make it look like a medical cabinet kind of, but like uh, like fantasy with a little bit of horror and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to do that. So I've been stockpiling. Uh, it's good and it's bad. I'm flattered people want to buy my bottles. It's like I share them, and they're like, "Oh, how much I want to buy it? I want to buy it. I want to buy it." And um, I'm flattered, and I guess I don't mind selling them and stuff like that. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, I got to build up a stock here so that I can have something to put together in this cabinet. People keep buying them. All I'm gonna have is like one bottle sitting there, which that's not too exciting. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like maybe hold on to them for a while, build up a big inventory of them, and then build this cabinet, do this video on this cabinet that I'm gonna build, and then I'll cut loose of the ones that I don't want, or maybe I'll take them to Spooky Empire if I go. Although it's $700 for a table at Spooky Empire, which is not quite as bad, I guess, as Transworld. Transworld, I think it's $1,500 for a booth, and that's just for the booth. If you want electric, you have to pay extra. If you want Wi-Fi, you have to pay extra. If you want a carpet, you have to pay extra. There's all kinds of you can only bring a two-wheeled vehicle to bring your wares into that. No, I don't know. I don't think so, Frady. I'm quite content with just Facebook and the YouTube video. I mean, primarily I didn't do this. My thing is like if I had a choice, like if I had a choice to open up a shop and sell versus being able to make props for a living, like what I do, make YouTube videos and tutorials for a living, I would much rather do the tutorials and stuff like that, and share because I enjoy. Although it's hard work. It's a lot of work, as you know, because when I'm building, I want to get into it and just build, But you can't do that when you're making YouTube content and stuff. And I'm probably sparse as it is as to what I show people because I know that I'll do something for a little while and then I'll say, okay, we'll check back here and we'll see where we're at, as opposed to a lot of people as they actually show you the whole process and then maybe just speed it up or whatever. But you have to worry about that. You have to consider that. You can't just plunge into your prop or whatever and just make it and not have to worry about a camera and having to talk and commentary and then edit it and all this. And that's a lot of work. You know that. It's a lot of work. But I enjoy it. I enjoy building stuff and sharing it, with people. But as far as Etsy page, I don't know. I really don't see that. Maybe someday I'll have a website where I can sell the T-shirts and stuff like that if there's enough interest. Like I said, I'm on 845 right now. It's slow. I know Keith and Vic, they shot up to 1,000 pretty quick. I still haven't made it to 1,000 yet, but I attribute that a lot to the promotion and stuff. So it's gonna take a while to get there. But let's see. Clayton's got his first round of shots. My portal tentacle is actually right there on the wall. I haven't decided what. It's funny you mention that because I think I might. What I started to do, because I had there was a 3-part series for that video, and what I started to do is I started taking out the intros on them and then putting them together because I think I'm going to shoot a supplement, and the supplement is because it bothers me that I couldn't get that damn thing to hold that lantern, okay? And I don't like to admit defeat, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot a supplemental. I'll edit the whole video, so if somebody's never watched it, if they so choose, they can watch the entire build and then the supplemental, or I'll put the time code where people can, that already seen it, can bump ahead and see. Basically, in a nutshell, I think I'm going to take it down. I'm going to drill a couple of holes in the back, and I'm going to take that same wire and work it through and put maybe 2 extra wires, and then pose it the way I want to. And 3 wires, it should hold that lantern. In fact, where is that lantern? Yeah, it's like a galvanized lantern, but I think I was going to paint it and rust it up wherever. Tentacles for 3. Hey, how are you, Den Mother? It's good seeing you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, $350 for the tentacles. Wow. I think I saw some of those in one of the videos. There was like a wire shelf, and it looked like I saw some that were sitting on the top wire shelf. With them damn things that looked like they were like 8 to 10 feet. Now mine, just like a lot of other ones, you can do different methods and stuff for the suction cups. I know some people are actually using suction cups, like Lewis. I see on Facebook use real suction cups. But when you look at like an actual tentacles, like what you shot Transworld, you look on the profile of what a suction cup is. It's like it looks like a cylinder that goes up into the body of the tentacle. As to where the detail on mine is it's just pretty much a suction cup. To be honest with you, I would like to repaint that whole thing some because I'm not 100% sold on the paint. That's the thing. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I felt a little bit out of my league or element. That's a better choice of words. I felt out of my element painting latex. Okay, because you're painting with You know, you can't just use acrylic paint or you can't use that on latex. It'll eventually, you know, because over time latex will shrink. It'll crack. Whatever you put on a latex mask or prop or whatever has to have latex in it so that it has the elasticity that it'll expand and shrink with. Um, so you know, uh, anyways, long story short, so you can paint with the acrylic, but you still have to mix in the latex with it. Some people put water and everything, but it's totally the consistency of latex paint for mask making is like nothing I've ever used in my life. It's super watery, but some people like to even make it more watery. And when you put it on, it's almost like putting on water. Like it's so thin and drippy and stuff like that. And like the first coat you put on, it's really not doing anything because you'll see the latex like bleed through. So you have to put a couple of coats, and then like with the dry brushing and stuff, you almost have to work. And I don't know, it's just different, you know. And of course, airbrushing. I don't have an airbrush. I've never airbrushed before. That's gonna have to be something I'm gonna have to delve into one of these days. I'll probably jump on over to Harbor Freight and invest in a small compressor and. Let's see. Oh, that's nice of you to say, Edie. Yeah, I wasn't. You know, I didn't. I've never done. I've done them. Uh, I've done something like that. You know, I did that with. I used the pool noodles. If you guys watched one of my early videos when I made the biocontainment chamber, I took pool noodles, but I didn't coat them with latex. I used this rubberized undercoat that you spray. You know, you use it underneath vehicles or some. There was a trend for a while in like the '90s where people were spraying their entire truck beds with it and then putting a rubber mat down. But it's like a rubber. But I found that the weather was it was really damp and stuff here at the time. I sprayed that stuff on there, and it took like 4 days to dry. It took forever for that stuff to dry. Every time I was going, I was checking, I was touching it, and I was having black on my fingers. I was like, damn, this stuff doesn't want to. Never used an airbrush either, Freddie. It just seems like there's so much to, you know, when you do this stuff, there's just, it's an expensive hobby, really, if you think about it. I mean, yeah, you can do, me and Keith and stuff like, I'm like the king of economics, you know, I've got a drawer that's full of just absolute junk, like, almost like a hoarder. But it's for Halloween or props and stuff. You know, it's like little pieces of little piece of square plastic or something. Um, Normally somebody would throw it away, but I'll keep it because it's like, oh, it's a little control module. I can, you know, like when I made my cyborg skull, you know, little you put little components and stuff like that on there, and robotics and everything else, steampunk stuff, and but yeah, I want to get in the airbrush one day. There's such an art form in all of it. You know, you can't capture uh, the feathering and stuff with a brush that you can with an airbrush. It's just something you can do fine lines and stuff like that. And you can do like little blue veins and stuff like that. Flex seal. Yeah, I mean if they replace the whole bottom of a boat with flex seal, you should be able to. No, I haven't, but I think it's almost in theory the same stuff as rubberized undercoat, which is what I was talking to earlier. Now I also got something else that I bought. I haven't tried it yet. They have a spray that you use in your gutters on the seams. If you've got like if your gutters are leaking at seams, okay, they have a spray. It's white when it comes out of the can, and it's made for your gutters. Okay, and it's like a rubberized, you know, um, it dries like a rubber. So I'm gonna try that, And then for sealing and stuff, I've also picked up like plastic that has like a clear coat that's like a gloss clear coat. That's the thing, you just have to be a mad scientist and you have to experiment with stuff sometimes. And it might work, it might not. What's that? Either one blue airbrush. Oh, at Transworld they had airbrushes for like 30, $40 each. I don't know how much they are at Harbor Freight. I know Alan talks about that there is a certain kind. I guess you have to get. See, that's the thing. Um, I take mental notes, not everything, because I can't digest everything. I'm usually focusing on what what I'm gonna build, and I'll do a little bit of research and I'll engineer in my head and stuff like that. And if there's a material or something I need to learn, it'll be at that point in time that I'll go in there and I'll watch the videos. But I think I remember like watching briefly a video where Alan said like there's you don't want this airbrush from Harbor Freight, you want this airbrush, and this is why, and da 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 da. So when it comes time to get an airbrush, I'm going to be doing like research and stuff like that, crash courses and stuff. That's what I did when I made my first latex mask. I that one was a little bit more daunting because the materials are just so darn expensive. You got to buy the wet clay, you got to buy the ultra cal, you got to buy the armatures like the half mask or the whole bust, head, and the sculpting tools and pledge and mold release and then there's just so much that you have to have, and you haven't even gotten into the painting when you've got the complete product. You have to buy the latex and then the paints, and if you want hair you got to buy the hair. So it's all super expensive, and it's stressful to know you spend all this money. You spend a lot of money on lead, you spend a lot of money on ultra cal tools and everything else. When you spend all this time sculpting something, and then all of a sudden it's time to cast it. That that made me nervous, because there's so much that can go wrong. Because ultra cal, when it kicks just like that. And if you watch the video, that I wasn't acting, I wasn't joking around in that. The way that I started that video was to show you where I was in panic mode because that stuff was hardening in the bucket, and I was trying to slap it and get it on there as quick as I could. Hope thinking that if this doesn't work, you lose the sculpt, and that's where the stress is, because if you screw up, then you lose all that work and all that material. So, but it gets pricey after a while. But I got a pretty good stock up now. I got everything. I'm gonna be doing another mask here. I got to figure out when I can do that. And hey, Steve, how are you, man? Thanks for stopping by. We're just talking about. I was telling everybody how stressful it was for me to make my first mask because of how much, how costly materials are, and uh, when you spend all this time sculpting something out of lead, and then you go to cast it. If you mess up, you could potentially lose all that work you just put in it. No, no, Edie. Like, here, let me grab me something. So, so this is the Ed Head half mask. Okay, and um, basically you put your wet clay on here. All right, and then you just sculpt your face onto it. All right, and then what you can do, um, it's wider here because this is your ultra cal is going to be here. What you can do, I didn't do it when I did my first match, but what you can do is, and Steve could back me up. I'm like his Padawan because this guy knows all of this stuff. I'm just like an infant learning to crawl right now, so I don't know. I have all the answers, but you can dam up, make a dam around here with wet clay, and then you want to paint on your first coat, your detail coat. You want to make sure you get in all your details, and then once you can start to, start setting up a little bit, you can start putting it on, pulling it up from the bottom, and then basically you're just filling the whole thing in. And then with some people, like like when you do a whole mask, you got to put like key points. I'm briefly getting into this because we're just talking about a half mask right now, but basically when your UltraCal is cured, all right, and it's hard and you're comfortable to take it off, I took a screwdriver and just pried around it and pulled it off, and it broke completely free. But what I do is I spray the whole head with Pledge, and that acts as a mold release. But they have stuff that's actual mold release. But I find, Alan uses Pledge. Before that though, when I was done with the sculpture, I clear coated it to seal it. That's a whole other topic too. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, make a dam around it. I didn't do that the first time, so I had like an absolute mess. I had an UltraCal spilling over the sides and everything, and I'm like pulling in and panicking because I'm reaching into the bucket, and it was like all slurry on top. I'm like, oh yeah, milkshake, I'm good. It's got a good consistency. Then I stuck my hand like further down, and I was like, oh man, it was like starting to get hard. So then when it kicks like that, you don't have much time. You got to move. I ended up making 2 batches. And I was worried because when you get into that, and maybe Steve can back me up on that too, you risk having air pockets, like where you're putting more UltraCal over a partial cast. You could end up having like a air bubble, or a pocket, or something like that, and then you pull it out, and you pull all the clay out of the mold, and then you could see like you have like a hole there, or a crevice or something like that, where there was a space in between. So I thought there was a possibility. I thought when I did my first mask, my first cast, that I didn't know. I was like rolling the dice, baby. I had no chance. I had a 50-50. I didn't know. And so when I pulled all the clay out, I was genuinely and pleasantly surprised to see that I did. I didn't notice it at that point in time, but I did have like one little spot in the nose that I had to fill in, and that was fine too, because then I was just able to mix up a little UltraCal, take one of those throwaway paint brushes, and then just fill in the hole, let it cure, and that's how you could patch them and stuff that way as well. But overall, for my first mold, I was pleasantly surprised, because it could have gone a lot worse. But it's definitely an art form, and I have a lot of respect for those people, especially like the guys that do it full time at Distortions Unlimited, and some of these other big Church Street Studios and everything. It's an art form. Making a mold is an art form, and it's not just something that's taken lightly. And I have a lot of respect. But the good news is our buddy Steve Contronio from Grimwood Hollow, is talking about doing some tutorials, I guess, on making a UltraCal cast. And me and Keith are both like, yeah, we're going to be watching it over and over again, because Steve he did an unbelievable amount of masks, especially when you were doing the Haunted Vineyard. And you should go check out, if there's somebody else, if you aren't familiar with Steve's YouTube channel, Grimwood Hollow, go show some love and check out his videos. He's got some amazing content over there. Really good stuff. And he's pumped out some serious masks, and I like his sculpts and stuff like that. And just not to mention all the other stuff you've done too, Steve, the shrunken heads and the oddities, stuff that's all up my alley, So, but anyway, those of you guys that are coming in, this was yesterday's tutorial. Basically, it's I call it teddy bear taxidermy. All right, and it was I gave him a 3/4 inch PVC skeleton, and then I was gonna give him a mouth, give him a grill like this, which is using PVA foam, polymer clay tongue I make, polymer clay translucent teeth, and then some glass cabochon eyes, some nasty looking eyebrows. But basically, how to make these teddy bears to where you can pose them a little bit. If you so choose, you can turn them, move their arms up and down, pose them, put a butcher knife in their hand, do whatever you want with it. But anyways, I lost the footage. My SD card uh, is dead. I guess it's corrupt, and I lost the entire video. So, but that's okay because I'm gonna redo it next week, and I'm gonna use this one and do that tutorial again next week. But I'm also going to show you how to make a carnival game, a Halloween carnival game. I know some of you guys are like, okay, you already talked about this, but we got some people that weren't here before. But yeah, I'm going to show you how to make a Halloween carnival game that's fun for the kids as well as the adults and stuff. And so yeah, this is going to be the basis for it. There's a lot of things that we can use, but this is a standalone prop. You can do so much with this. You could make it any kind of character you want. You could put whatever you want. You could put like a bloodied apron on him, or make him a burlap mask, or shave him down and make some gore. You can cut him up the middle, build a rib cage and put some gore, or whatever you want. There's so many different options that you can do. And I know that people have been doing, there's people that do the creepy bears, but I haven't seen too many of them there in like a figure format where you can just put them wherever you want and whatever. You can put like trays in their arms if you want. Maybe put the little bowl of Halloween candy on there or whatever. You can do whatever you want. But so that was supposed to be this week's video. Was showing you how to make a skeleton, do what I call teddy bear taxidermy. But I lost the footage, so instead you're going to see me and Haley do a toy review, which is good too, which is fine. But next week I'm going to go ahead and give you that other tutorial on how to do that. Thanks, Steve. Oh, hey, Dr. Dread's in the house. Thank you for stopping by, sir. Oh yeah, Steve, you promised some mode tutorials. We're gonna. He's probably like, yeah, I don't know if you're regretting telling me you're gonna do that because me and Keith now I've been like haunting him now and reminding him constantly to do that. So something else I'm gonna do that I've been wanting to do for a while is I want to kind of go back to like I love Jack Pierce. Okay, Jack Pierce, and for those that don't know, Jack Pierce was the guy that every day they didn't make prosthetics back in the 30s when they made Frankenstein. Boris Karloff. They didn't have appliances. They had people like Jack Pierce. And Jack Pierce, Boris Karloff, I guess used to have to show up at the studio at like some ungodly time in the morning and sit in this chair for I don't know, Steve, you probably know too, like I think like 5-6 hours he had to sit in this chair while Jack Pierce meticulously took like stuff like cotton and latex or rubbers. I don't even know what he used back then, and probably like funeral putty, wax, and stuff like that, and had to recreate that Boris Karloff Frankenstein look every day, every time they shot. It's like they didn't have the luxury of but that's insane because you think about it, like on a continuity, that's one thing I've got involved in film. I had the opportunity to make some make some films and act in some films and be on set for some films. Um, One of the things that you are constantly having to watch is continuity. Uh, Continuity being if you're doing a shot in a video, if you're making a movie, and this piece of PVC is sitting there, and you shoot a portion of the scene, and then the director says cut, and then all of a sudden somebody comes over and says, "Oh yeah, I need this," or "I'm gonna put it over here," and then they take two for a different scene or reversal or whatever. And if you don't catch that, you're going to have this pipe that's dancing all around on the table. So that's continuity. Or if your actor's wearing a hat one minute and he's not the next, or his glasses, or whatever, continuity. Well, he had to make Boris Karloff, Frankenstein, the same every time. And I don't know about you guys. I've watched Frankenstein I don't know how many times, and I don't think I've ever caught anything with the monster that looked different from scene to scene. Um, but anyways, all of this to say that I want to make a bust. I've always loved busts. That's something I would love to be a bust collector, like a high-end bust collector. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and try that. I'm gonna get like a plank of wood, like this, a base. I'm going to make a PVC armature. I'm going to fill it out with some foam, and then I'm going to go ahead and this was something I started to play with, just playing. I was actually Haley wanted to sculpt. It was a Saturday, and so I said, okay. So I got the stuff out, and I had this air dry clay. I've never worked with it before, and that was a Sculpey product. And so I took this Home Depot skull and just started to screw around with it. Put some glass cabochons in there, and then just played with it just to see how it is, how it reacts, what's it feel like when it's cured, because I've never worked with it before. But it got me to thinking, you know what, I think I might want to try to build a 1/1 scale bust of like a zombie or like a zombie pirate or something like that. But I want to go old school with it. Now I do have some of those resin teeth that are really nice. Some right here. In fact, I use them in the monster bottles. I already used some of them there. There you can see that. They come in this one. This one here is F. Fuchsia A. Beautiful Endurance Ideal Composite Resin Teeth. All right, so I'm not. That's not going to cut it. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to grind this away. I'm actually going to insert in these resin teeth, and then I'll like stain them up. But basically, what I want to do is I want to try the cotton and latex method. Maybe I've got some of those blue shop towels, which Keith laughs about that, the shop towels. But sorry, let me just here. All right, Steve, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Christopher, yeah, it's different. It wasn't as bad as I thought. I heard Keith talk about it because he used a air dry clay on one of his projects, and he was saying, yeah, it's kind of harder to knead, and I don't know. He said it was harder to work with. I didn't think it was too bad, but I don't know if I'll use there. I might do it for the nose or whatever because I can't, or make some ears with it. We're gonna see. But like I said, I'm gonna use blue shop towels. I saw somebody on Facebook that had one of those 12-foot skeletons. In fact, there's somebody that was this person was doing a lot of skeleton corpsing with this blue shop towels. And you guys know what I'm talking about, the blue shop towels. So it's these right here. So what it looked like, it looked like a dried up, mummified grayish when you add the moisture from the latex into those shop towels. But anyways, this guy did like he corpse portion of a 12-foot skeleton. Did any of you guys see that? And then he did like some corpsing on some other skeletons with the shop towels and latex. And I like the looks of that. And I think I'd like to try that. Plus, I want hair. I want to put like a goatee, really like a pirate, hair, and I just want to do the whole process, dress it, put some tattered clothes, and just do it, and make a video on it and share it with you guys. And if it's something that you find interesting, but what I wouldn't mind knowing what you guys would like to see. If there's something, if there's something that you're wanting to do, but you're not sure to go about doing it or whatever, I might give it a crack. Maybe it's something I haven't done before too. There's a lot of stuff that I've done that I've never did before. You just gotta take the leap. You gotta tread water and just keep going, and it'll all come together. It comes together. There's a lot of stuff that I'll start, and I'm like, man, I'm not liking. Actually, this one here, this bottle here, when I was making it, when I first started on it, I was like, I almost, I felt like, I'm not, this isn't coming together. I'm not liking how this is, and I debated on just stopping and ripping it apart or whatever, or putting it aside. But I've learned that you gotta stick with it. You gotta keep going. You got to just keep going and see it through. And it never ceases to amaze me, and it never fails. But when I stick to it and see it through to the end, then it works out, and everything seems to work out at the end. Where I'll add something to it, and then it'll finally start to make sense, and then I'll have a clear direction as to where we're going. So that's to you guys, any of you out there that might have confidence issues. I think that's the only difference from being a successful prop maker to not being one, is just the willingness to just jump in with both feet and give it your best shot. And I learn something new every time I do something new, and but well, I guess Miss Keith and Vic tonight, they must be busy. Anyways, I just wanted to jump on here, you guys, and just give this thing a run. I'm not gonna, keep going too long. I think I've been on for a little over an hour. I think that's enough. I just wanted to tell you guys what happened with my video yesterday, and I appreciate all you guys' support, and look forward to continue and try to entertain you if I can, and teach you something if I can. And but anyways, guys, thank you for coming and hanging out with me, and we'll see about doing this again another day. So thank you, guys. You have a good evening, and keep an eye out for the Daddy and Haley toy review on Saturday morning, and then next week you'll I'll do this for you. So hey, Ray, thanks for showing up there. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. All have a good night now. We'll see you. Go. Good night, guys.